in 2 Corinthians 11:26. He says, in journeyings often, in perils of robbery, in perils of robbers. Robbers. And this word robbers was a word which was used only to describe the bandits and the thieves who would hide along the side of the roads or would hide in the caves or the bushes. And they would wait for travelers to come along, and when no one was watching, suddenly the bandits and the thieves would spring out of nowhere, and they would attack and vandalize and rob those people that were traveling solitary on the road. And Paul says, I've been in perils of robbers. The word perils, the Greek word kindunos, which means great risk, great danger. It faced us all the time, highway robbery. Now, you know, I have to tell you, the greatest opposition which I've had in the ministry in this part of the world has had to do with believers, preachers with motives different than my own, many who have robbed me. I mean, literally robbed me. It's amazing what people can do who call themselves Christians. And Denise and I have been through so many events, sometimes where we've just shaken our head and said, my goodness, I cannot fathom that someone who calls themselves a Christian would do what this person just did. And you know, when you've been through a disappointment with a believer, you feel like you've had highway robbery in your life, you only have a couple choices. Well, in the United States, you can sue. That's not always the best thing to do. In our part of the world, you can't even do that. So that option's gone. You can be bitter, but bitter puts you in a prison, hurts you, bitterness hurts you more than it hurts anybody else. Or option number 3, you can just make a decision that it's seed that is sown. I'm counting that as seed sown. And when you count it as seed sown, it removes the sting. Suddenly you just planted a great seed in somebody or somewhere. Don't let the devil steal from you. You just make a decision in your heart and in your head. It's a seed that you just planted. You didn't expect to plant it, but my goodness, something happened and you ended up planting the biggest seed you've ever planted in your life. Rather than lose, look at it and call for your harvest. That's what Denise and I have done over and over through the years. You know, when you work in new territory, where people show up from all over the world because the door just opens, like happened in the former Soviet Union, all kinds of people show up. All kinds of people, good people, bad people, strange people, all kinds of people. And as long as we're in this world and we're dealing with people, sometimes we're going to deal with people that don't do things that are right. So if you run into one of those moments like Paul did, where he was constantly dealing with robbers, and if you lose something along the way, first of all, remember, it was eventually going to leave your hands anyway. You never hang on to money long. It was just yours temporarily. The same God who put it in your hand to start with could put it in your hand again. And rather than count it a loss, count it a seed. And if you count it a seed, it'll fix your attitude and help you just to get up and keep moving, and you'll know that now you have a right to expect a major harvest in that territory where you're working. You've got too much in the ground to give up, and God is going to see that seed and He's going to multiply it back to you again.